Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Leatherman Rev. I did a first impressions video of this back on November 7th of last year, and I've actually been using this quite a bit since then. This isn't my favorite Leatherman tool, but I don't think it deserves some of the hate that other people give it, but it does have its issues, things about it that I don't necessarily like. But before we get into what I feel about it, why don't we take a look at the specs and take a look at the tool set, and then I'll give you my opinion of it. So, the Rev weighs 167 grams, or 5.89 ounces. The Rev is about 3 13/16 of an inch long when it's closed. And the Rev is 6 inches long when it's open. And from like the widest point of the pocket clip to the widest point of the tool is about 3/4 of an inch. Now, before I start the tool set for the Rev, I just want to mention that none of the tools except for the knife blade lock. So, your first tools are needle nose pliers, regular pliers, and your wire cutters. And we'll start the tools on the side that doesn't include the pocket clip or the knife. Your first tool is, they call it a medium flathead screwdriver, but it's the largest one on here. I've also used it for lifting the lid off of paint cans, and for that it worked well. In my experience, this is a pretty good medium large flathead screwdriver. And then you have your flat Phillips screwdriver. And now on the opposite side, you have your first combination tool, which is a wire stripper, bottle opener, and can opener. Then you have your second combination tool, which is a ruler, depth gauge, which goes up to 1.5 inches, and a small flathead screwdriver, and your file. Then you have the package opener, which is pretty good for getting your like blister pack clamshell packaging open. Then you have your 420 HC steel straight knife, which has a 2 5/16 inch long blade. Now, while we're on the subject of the knife, I don't know why they put the cutout all the way down here on the blade. It just, to me, doesn't make any sense. It really takes it from being what could have been a one-handed opener had they just put the cutout up here to a two-handed opener. My thumb just, the way that my hand is, the size of my hand, you'd have to have a super long thumb to be able to make this whole movement without your thumb pad contacting the blade. I just don't see how you could do it. If you're just someone who naturally opens it with two hands, that's no big deal, I guess, but they had the perfect opportunity to just put the cutout up here and make it a true one-handed opener, and they didn't do it. I saw a video somewhere else on YouTube, another person's channel, where they made like a little nub here, they welded something on. That's a great idea, but it should have been done from the factory. I don't know why they decided to take this perfectly good blade, but they cut out in a bad spot, and then it should have just been designed with that up there. It totally destroys the ability to have this as a one-handed opener. And then, if you count the pocket clip, there it is. So I've seen a lot of people who don't like the Rev, and I've seen a lot of people who do like the Rev, people who like it. They say they like the price point, they also like the tool set, and a lot of them just start saying that it's not as bad as you're saying that it is to people who dislike it. Personally, the couple things that I don't like about it are, I wish that it had a finer needle nose, and when I got it, the handles, I had to tighten one of them up because it was super loose. It was this one, because it's still not perfect. The build quality just isn't as good as other Leatherman tools that I have. But it's not to say that it's a bad tool. And in fact, I actually find myself carrying this quite a bit. It's definitely not as advanced as something like the Rebar, or obviously like the Wave or something else like that. I know I don't have the Wingman or the Sidekick. I just don't own them yet. So I really don't have anything to compare it against in that respect. However, I know that those are more expensive, but they also have more or different tools. So if you're looking for locking tools, this definitely isn't the tool for you. And if you're looking to belt carry it, this isn't the tool for you either. You're going to have to pick up your own sheath for it, because you want to get the pocket clip. But some of the good things about it are, I mean, it's $40, and for $40, you get a pretty decent tool set. I mean, it is bare bones, but it's bare bones in the sense of it's stuff that you'll actually use. In my profession, this right here, these, and this are what I use the most. So as long as it has that, it's pretty much good for me to begin with anyways. And as long as these are good, in which they're fine. I mean, yeah, it would be nice if they locked, but the retention on this is pretty good anyways. So it takes a decent amount of force to break this over to begin with. So, you know, it's not like you're going to be pushing, you're going to be turning or whatever, and it's going to keep folding over or whatever. You know the limitations, but also it's not that bad. So the last thing that I don't really like about the Rev is the way that the handles are designed and the way that this one curves out. I don't like holding it with this side pushing into my hand. I just doesn't feel right, and it makes like a hot spot, especially as, you know, it's already digging into my hand right there. But if you flip it over and hold it on the pocket clip side, for me, that's perfect. So it's like the way the handles are designed on this one, I can only hold it one way. I can't hold it, I don't want to hold it both ways. I'd want to grip it like this. That's the way that feels more comfortable for me. Just because the way that this handle sweeps back, the way that this one is more comfortable for me. So, you know, the Rev is going to be the cheapest Leatherman tool out there at this time. Right now, it's $39.95, $40 on their website right now. For that price, would I recommend that you just save your money and buy something else that's a little bit more expensive? Kind of. If you're looking for something that just has this tool set and this is going to be satisfactory for you and you're okay with no locking tools, go for it. It's fine. I would worry about the build quality. As I mentioned, the handles were loose when I got it. I tightened them up, but it's still not perfect. I could send it back in for them to, you know, fix it under warranty or whatever. But I also kind of want to do it myself and see if I can finally get the handles dialed in the way that I want them. But, you know, that's just an issue with this particular one. I'm not saying that they're all going to be like this, but, you know, just be aware that I did have an issue with mine right out of the box. But also, I think that this tool in particular is definitely would serve a purpose if you want to buy something for somebody as a gift, especially if you know somebody who carries like no tools in their car. This might be a good idea, just something to throw in the glove box and just take with you. Something that if you really need it, it's there. If you're looking to use this every single day, especially if you're doing heavy duty stuff, this probably wouldn't be the one for you either. But my job in and of itself really isn't a heavy duty job anyways, so it works for me as well. So with all that being said, it's kind of hard to call the Leatherman Rev bad. It's just definitely not the best example of a Leatherman tool, in my opinion. There's a lot of other Leatherman tools out there that really more show off and better show off how good a Leatherman tool can be, as opposed to this one. This one's really basic, and if you just need a basic multi-tool, then fine. But if you need some frills with what you carry, then look elsewhere and you won't be disappointed, I don't think, especially if you're looking in the Leatherman lineup. All right, I hope that you've enjoyed the video, looking at the after 6-month review. Finally, I got to it, of the Leatherman Rev. Overall, like a C+. Not the best example, but it's still decent. So, all right, hope you guys liked the video, and have a good day, and take it easy.